Hi, welcome to Grandma's How-Tos again. Today we're going to make different kinds of dumplings, among other things. Alright, I put 4 eggs in this bowl, and I'm going to kind of get that beaten up. And then I add about quarter cup, eighth of a cup of water, and about a cup and a half of flour. And I never use a recipe usually, so I'm going to kind of make it up as I go, but I'd say it's about a cup and a half of flour. And then when you look at it, you'll know. What I like to use these dumplings for is like you can just cook them up, put them in dumpling soup, vegetable soup. I love vegetable soup with egg dumplings in, or chicken dumpling soup, or sometimes I just make a macaroni and cheese base and then I put the cheese sauce over the top, or you can make spaghetti sauce and put that over the top, or just dump in a jar of spaghetti sauce. You don't have to, and so then it's almost like instead of using the noodles. And it's probably a little better for you because it's mostly eggs. So, now you got a pretty stiff batter. That's just about right. Alright, now, and I do add a little garlic salt because I kind of like the taste of garlic. Okay, so now I'm kind of waiting for my burner, my water to boil. It's not easy to wait for water to boil. Okay, that's all mixed up. Now, while we're waiting for that, we'll get our macaroni and cheese base going. I took about a half a stick of butter, and then I melted that. And you put a little flour in there. And that's about a third of a cup. And you get that going. And you make like a roux, it's called. It's just like a little thick sauce. So that's butter and about a third of a cup of flour. Okay, then I like a little onion in mine. Okay, so now that's going to thicken up pretty quick because of the flour. Now this is a good way to use up all your cheese that you have in the refrigerator. Say if you have just a little Velveeta, little cream cheese, little sour cream, little Parmesan, doesn't really matter. So I'm just mainly getting that. I don't know how much milk I need because it just depends how much I want to make. You just add until it starts to thicken. My burner's kind of a goofy burner, so it doesn't always thicken like I want it. Now I like to add onion too. So I have it, a little onion chopped up. And I like it to get soft, so it isn't, I don't want crunchy onions in there, I just want them soft. Now you can add just about anything you have to make this. Now I start adding like different cheeses, and you can cut them up if you want. If I have a little sour cream left, I throw that in there, maybe a little of this. I have some cheddar. Okay, turn my burner down so I don't burn it. I think I'll shut it right off because all I have to do now is let this start to melt. And I usually melt it on real low for a while. And you can keep adding milk to your desired thickness. Now you want it kind of thin because you're going to be adding your elbow macaroni or the dumplings we're going to make today, which are, my water's boiling, so I'm going to go over to that. We'll leave this a minute and go right over to here. This is my cameraman's favorite side dish. And you just drop them in there. About, you know, a little glob, depending on how big you want them. Now you can also make, like if you have a roast with gravy, you can put these in the gravy along with your roast or whatever, and it's just delicious. Now I'm going to just let them cook for about a minute, maybe lift them off the bottom a little. Alright, as soon as they pop to the top like that, that means they're done enough. And they're ready to either go in your soup. I love them in vegetable soup. See how they are? Now what my cameraman likes is just to put them in butter and garlic salt. That's really good. Yes. Okay. So you got the point there. That was my main goal. I can finish this all later. But they're a delicious little fluffy dumpling. And then I add them. This is still melting, and it'll take a while. I just wanted to show you how you can put a little parsley in here. Now this is pretty thick. What you could do, say if you have a potluck, you can make it and then put it in a crock pot. Now if you wanted to add macaroni instead of the dumplings, then you just cook them halfway. I don't cook the macaroni all the way because otherwise it's too soggy, you know. And you could add an egg, but an egg makes it more custard-like. So you might not like that texture, but I kind of do sometimes. But in a crock pot, an egg is not good because it gets thicker and thicker, or stiffer. So you just stick with the creamy kind if you're going to put it in a crock pot. Keep it on low. See how this is just about right. Now if you want it more yellow, like the fake stuff in the box, you can always put a dash of food coloring, or eggs from a farmer are much more yellow, the yolk, than the store-bought eggs. But this is a good way to use up if you have chickens and you have a lot of eggs. Okay, so that's pretty much the sauce. And like I say, you can add any cheese you have until you like it to the desired amount. Now you can add, I like garlic salt in it because it just tastes much better than plain salt. Okay, that's my macaroni and cheese, and I'm making it with dumplings. Okay, then we're going to go on to, now later I'm going to be making a pie. So I didn't want to have to do everything all at once. So last night I made the cookie dough, sugar cookie dough, and then I used this little melon ball maker, and you can pump out a lot of cookies. And I'd say this probably makes 100 cookies. I can give you the recipe, but I'll do finish the other stuff I was going to do today. Anyway, that's a good way to make cookies quickly. Okay, now let's see. Now dumplings. There's another dumpling you can make with leftover mashed potatoes. So you can do the same thing. You put your, say maybe 2 cups of leftover mashed potatoes, put a little flour in there and an egg, and beat that up. You can throw them in the boiling water, put them in gravy just like you would. I would only do the gravy with those. But also you can take leftover mashed potatoes and put the same, maybe a little onion, flour, egg, and then you can fry them in little patties in butter. And those are really good. Now, next week, maybe I'll make our family meal that we always had for Christmas. And it's a beef roast, pork roast, lots of gravy, bread dumplings you make with bread ripped up, and sauerkraut on the side. So maybe we can get to that next week. Here's the last few minute things that we will do. I'll turn the light on here. Okay, now if you want to make a quick centerpiece for Christmas, I had a lot of these because we used to make flowers for weddings, my mom and I, and then you can buy, it has to be the wet foam. They come in blocks like this, and when you soak them in water, you just stick them on the bottom, like this. You can put them in anything though. It doesn't have to be this. And then you add water. It soaks up all that water. And so it's like a sponge. So anything you add to that will stay wet for weeks. And so what I did, I went to Walmart and bought just one little bouquet, $4 bouquet of carnations, because carnations last a long time. These are carnations and Christmas colors. And then I just went out in the yard and I just started to find holly and cedar and some spruce and some pine and rosemary and some candy canes I stuck. You can get pretty little decorations from just a little gift shop or whatever. Now I had this baby breath from a long time ago, and that's a good filler in her. You know, it fills in. Here's just a grass. I threw that in there, and it's all in that wet foam. So then it stays nice. Okay, so say if you had a couple little twigs here, maybe the baby breath, but I'm using this because I don't have a lot of things. And I want it to be thicker, okay? So then I take, sometimes you can buy these little picks and put those three together. And then just make them like that. And now you have a bigger clump. Or you could just use a stick from the outdoors and put a little wire around it. And then you have bigger clumps. And if you really wanted to get technical, you could put tape around it. This is floral tape, and it's kind of stretchy. And then you can do that, and you don't even see the stick, but you don't have to get that technical just with a little Christmas thing. Now, a previous video we did was we cut that fern in 4 pieces. Now, that's only 1/4 of a fern, and it's doing real well. Now, this was that hibiscus I cut down. It was about 4 feet tall, and I just cut it off to nothing. There were just sticks, and look at it all coming back again. Okay, one last thing here. Say if you want a few gifts for Christmas, you can make jelly. You can buy a juice concentrate and just follow the recipe inside of the Sure Gel or Cerdo or whatever you choose, and it tells you just how to make jelly. Now I have all those muscadine grapes, so I strain them. I cook them till they're nice and juicy, then I strain them, get just the juice. Then I go according to the grape jelly recipe right on here. Then I make all these little jars of jelly, and then I just put these little circles I cut out of different fabrics, and like that. And then I put the lid on, and it's a good little gift. And I also made peach jelly from our peaches that we had. And sometime maybe I'll show you how to make cowboy candy. It's candied jalapenos, and they're pretty good, like a little side thing. I don't like too hot of things, but my family does. Okay, so I guess that's about it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll come back maybe with our Christmas dinner meal, and we'll do that next time. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.